Hello, welcome to Blyton Park. We're here at the end of June, nearly July, for the round 4 of the BTRDA Rallycross Championship. We've not been here before really for a track walk, so I thought I'd take you around. Here we are on the start line. Quite a few interesting features about the start line. Firstly, as you can see, the lights are a long way down this track, and they're quite low down. So if you're at the back of the grid, it's difficult to see them. Alongside that, you've also got the fact that the split surface down the middle of the track. Now, some of the inside grid positions are on the old concrete surface, and some of the outside ones are on the tarmac. So sometimes it's better to starting from the outside of the grid. So you've had your long run down from the first corner. You get a little bit of dab of brakes to come into the first little kink, and then into a straight line braking zone for this hairpin. Now you're out wide and then tight in on the way out. Or if you've got somebody behind you, you're tight in, because this is a really, really good overtaking spot. Especially if you're really late on the brakes, you can force them out wide and you get to one of the best overtaking spots on the circuit. You run tight to the inside here on the apex, you watch the big pothole on the outside, and then you aim straight at that loose section right up there. Now the inside line of that is where you want to be. Underneath it's tarmac, and all of the deep loose gets washed out to the outside, and especially if they wet it, it can be really sludgy out there. So stick to the inside and hug it into the next braking zone at the hairpin. Hug round the inside of the right hander on the loose, and you come into the steep, tight braking zone. Now, this is another really good overtaking spot if you're brave enough and willing to do a bit of a lunge, should I say. If you hug tight around the bail, maybe a bit of handbrake, but really steady off the inside, and you come back down the straight, again holding a low gear, really low gear, first, second, if that, and you come back left on the tarmac, and it's another 90 left, back up on the loose, over the jump. Now this bit is all about finding the right line for your traction. Now it's a long old straight, so if you've got the best traction out of here, you're better off getting down the hill and straight through the chicane, and the chicane down there, halfway down the straight, is completely flat out. No matter what car you're in, you're flat out through that chicane and you're off down the pit straight. So long straight down from the chicane, and you come through the tiny little right hander, which is just a flat out kink, and hard on the brakes for this left hand corner here. Now this is a really slow corner because it's a really narrow on the exit, and you really have to watch this tyre. I've seen, I think, 5 cars clip that tyre and end up on their roofs. It's not a good place to be.
24 hours later.
So you come out there, you're watching out from the outside because it drops away there on the outside of the track, and you're keeping it in the lock, and it's one really big corner back down towards the finish line. Now you get out wide there as well, you end up in that field, and that's not a nice place to be either. So you just keep it tidy, keep your foot in, and wait for the run down towards the finish line. So here we have the last corner before the finish line. Now the important thing to remember about this is that you're racing between the cones. Now sometimes that cone gets knocked into the inside of the corner, and you can really cut the corner and run across the gravel and sort of get a better run up this way, and you can gain a lot of time there and lose a lot of time there. The final corner before the finish, or back onto the start line, is this left hander up here. Now it's fairly uneventful, other than the great big yellow sausage curb on the outside. Now that can be a bit of a sump basher on some cars, but you've just got to keep off it, and it's a good deterrent for keeping your line tidy and a good run down the big long start finish straight. So that was a lap of Blyton Park. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll get some good results tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. See us next time, which is Lyddon Hill.